Loki. Yeah, I like that. Hey, Loki. Just hello there. Loki episode 4. I'm assuming. I've lost track. Yeah, Loki. I'm assuming episode 4.
That's right. I'm about to monologue, son. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Okay, now Loki episode 4. Even though it's basically exactly the same thing, they went from the TVA to the TVA to... okay, first episode, TVA. I like to do an episode breakdown every episode, and it's of the previous episode. The first episode was all of TVA. Second episode, first half TVA, second half Apocalypse. Third episode, all Apocalypse. Fourth episode, back at the TVA. But honestly, I'm actually liking it just because Tom Hiddleston. I really do love his character, and honestly, the whole narcissism thing, like going to beyond where he can only really care about someone who's literally himself. I like that. I understand that. It's just like, yeah, as someone who really does enjoy their own company, it makes sense that you would want someone who is literally exactly the same as you, and in his case is literally the same as him. I mean, you don't want to think too much on it, because then it's just like, that's just weird. But if you think about it, like, step back, it's just like, okay, they're two different people who are literally exactly the same. It's like, okay, that I understand. So I enjoy that. They basically get captured. Of course, they are creating a massive Nexus event because two variants, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense at the same time. I hope Owen Wilson sticks around. I like his character, especially now that he's basically buddy with Loki. I really do like that. It's making you wonder exactly what's going on, because the first thing I thought when people were getting, because it's obvious, like when you found out, that how do you create an empire of humans to police a location when you're stealing them from humanity? Well, if you're literally killing every variant, what I assumed would happen is every time someone was whatever it's called, pruned, they would be created in another facility. Because let's face it, if there's timekeepers making sure there's a structured timeline, and then the Nexus events are basically going to cross over into other timelines. So there must be other variations of the same TVA in other worlds or other timelines. So every time someone's pruned, they end up in those timelines. I do like how it ends. There is a post-credit scene. It's basically every single Loki you could think of. I mean, crocodile, kid, black, old. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool to see. I really do like what it's doing, but at the same time, I'm tired of what it's doing, because you do see everything coming. I mean, it seemed obvious that the timekeepers weren't going to be the timekeepers. It just seemed like it wasn't playing out exactly, because I didn't read the arcs in the comics but I never assumed that it just seemed off. I think they're trying to go and make it their own, but at the same time, it's going to anger a lot of people who are diehard fans. I'm okay with it as of right now. I'm just tired that they're not really going anywhere still. I do like the fact that they've introduced a relationship that just seems weird. It's funny because the previous monologue, I was just saying how it makes no sense to introduce a relationship and it doesn't serve a purpose. But honestly, right here, it serves a purpose. They introduce basically an attachment between two characters, and it serves a massive purpose. It's literally the reason they were discovered. It's the reason everything's going to fall apart. So I'm a fan of what they're doing, but at the same time, I am not, because it's hit or miss. It's really hit or miss. They'll do one thing that makes a lot of sense, but in the previous episode, they did one thing that just didn't make any sense, and it just seemed like someone was trying to smell their own farts. Yeah, this episode is all in the TVA. They're captured, of course. They get interviewed, I guess. They start finding out the secrets of the TVA, the fact that they're not, they weren't created by the TVA. Yeah. So it's not really, it's funny because when you actually think about it, there's not much to each episode. But when you get Loki talking, you end up filling up a lot of screen time, which honestly I can relate to. I tend to talk a lot about one thing, and honestly, something I will take one person to say in one sentence will take me 10 minutes because I'll rant on it, repeating somewhat the same things, just saying it in a different way sometimes, or I just say the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I'm pretty sure most people already clocked out already. Thank you all for watching. I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, I want it to go somewhere because it feels like this episode felt like it was going somewhere, but at the same time, when I actually sit down and think about it, it didn't go anywhere. It was just like, oh, this is a nice twist. Oh, I like Owen Wilson's reaction to this. Oh, I love the narcissism aspect. That's just perfect. So it's just like, but you sit back and think about it, just like, that was all one event right there. That's literally all one event. And here I was just enjoying it throughout. Thank you all for watching. Yeah, pretty much it. Toodles.